What's up, YouTubers? We're going to cover a lot of ground in today's video, but first off, I got to pick up some parts and Christmas present for Brewster. I don't really think he watched this video. Nobody tell him, but I bought him. So we're going to go in there and pick that up at McKenzie's Racing Supply. I'll take you all inside, see what they got. What's going on, guys?
What's going on?
Just here to shop for race car parts at McKenzie's Racing Supply.
We got some.
As you can see, McKenzie's Racing Supply has it all. They got Milwaukee tools, MD3 skirts, tabs, brackets, steering wheels, gaskets, pit lights. They got Dirt Defender products, nose pieces, swedge tubes, duct tape, rivets. They got everything you need. Go down and check out the friendly service and products at McKenzie's Racing Supply in Van Buren, Arkansas. And tell them I sent you.
Between now and the first of the year, we're going to run 10% off of every Dirt Defender wheel cover we have in stock in the store. Just come on by, promo code STORMY. Talk to me and JC. Limit one per person. Come on down to McKenzie Racing Products. See me and Stormy. And tell them I sent you.
Yo, come by McKenzie's and check out what all they got and get you a discounted Dirt Defender wheel cover until the first of the year. Headed over to Trick Fab right now. We talked about on Thursday that we were going to do this at 8 o'clock this morning. Well, it is now 9:40, and I'm on my way over there. That's not on me totally. That's 50-50. Neither me or Andy are morning guys. He texted me at about 8:30 this morning. I said, hey, if you're not going to go over here right now, you can go ahead and just push that back a little bit. That's totally fine with me. So, yeah, 9. We'll probably start work about 10, and we're going to see if we can get some work done. He's working on the customer clip, trying to get that fixed up, and once we get that, we'll have a jig for mine and we can get mine tuned up. We'll start filming it when we get working on mine, and hopefully this weekend we'll have mine welded up to take to my house. I have a whole week off work between Christmas and New Year, so I'm hoping I can get a lot of the cage. I don't know how long it'll take. I'm hoping I can get a good amount of work done at my house while I'm off that week, and maybe we can make several videos out of it. I'll catch up with you guys when we get there. Hey, Andy, how much is Liquid Molly paying you to wear that hat?
More than you can afford. Yeah.
More than you can afford, pal. Ferrari.
Yo, check out these washers I got from this off-road store online. Off-road guys have a lot of cool fabrication stuff because they actually build their own shit. So if you ever actually want to try to build something, you can look on off-road websites and they normally have a lot of cool fabrication stuff. But we're going to use these thick washers for our A-arm hole correction, so to give the bolt a race to ride in. They're tapered so they'll weld real nice on there. They're not super big diameter. These are very, very awesome. But yeah, props to off-road guys. I don't really like the stuff you build, but at least you build it all. Andy's been working on this, and what a lot of people don't realize is when you buy these stock style frames, you got to cut out a bunch of shit and plate it up just to be where it's useful for a modified.
You got to cut that out for the radiator for a 108-inch wheelbase modified.
Like the AFCO frame like I got, you don't have to do this too, and that's what makes it nice. It's already clearance for all this stuff, so we'll ought to just be able to weld mine up. But these stock style ones, there's a lot of stuff that's just in the way, and I never even honestly realized that because I just had a car that was already done like this. But glad I get to learn this. See, you learn a lot of things when you just build it. Just do it!
Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it!
All we're doing here is making patterns to plate these pieces up. Here where we have a hole cut out, we're just going to cover that up with a piece of plate metal. So we got all of the part we're going to have to plate up drawn out on poster board, and so now we're going to have to cut it out, but I think Andy isn't allowed to use safety scissors.
Not anymore. Yeah, it's important to get the whole family involved.
Yep, arts and crafts.
Taking it to the wife and the kid.
Okay, there was a lot of voodoo magic going on in here today, so we were unable to film a lot of this. I'm going to turn it over to Andrew Milliken, and he's going to give us an outline of what we did here.
There's not really much magic. It's just making sure everything's right per the rules that they give us. You know, they build these frames and everything flexes and when it welds and everything. So even if you put it on a jig and weld it, and then it comes off and it's in a bind and everything flops around. So we just took and everything and trued it up and made sure that we're not going to end up fighting something later on that could have been fixed right now. Because once it's in the car and you're racing, you're not thinking about binding your lower A-frames or the geometry being off in the lower. So it takes 2 or 3 days to fix this, but it's worth it in the end. That way you know that this is right.
So you can see what we did here is we get these washers tacked on here. We're going to have to full weld them up now, but this rod passes all the way through on both sides with these thick washers in here like this, and it gives us almost like a bearing race for our lower A-arm bolt to pass through. Everything is in line here and everything moves freely. See, this A-arm is totally in line, and there's a spec from the center of here to the center of here, and we're well within the spec from here to here on both sides. You're allowed plus or minus a ½ inch on both sides, and that can be manipulated if you know what you're doing. Do we know what we're doing?
No.
Yeah.
Not even clear.
So we got it in spec here and legal on this side and this side. So we've got a frame with the A-arms in line with each other. Everything's level, and we're going to be able to use this frame to, when I do it for my frame over here in the floor, it won't take nearly as long, and we'll just have to do these minor corrections to this now that we've taken time to do the legwork. Any closing thoughts?
No, just it doesn't take rocket science to make sure everything's right. It just takes time, patience.
Always remember there's no rules saying that your car has to be in a bind and has to be a piece of shit. Your car can be nice. Just build it. Just do it. Gonna see now if I can get my bender rigged up for my new replacement electric jack. I decided to go with a 5,000-pound electric trailer jack. Everybody on the internet told me that won't work, but I found one guy that did it, and it looks like it works really well. So I'm going to use it for mine because I want to eliminate the hydraulic altogether. I use an electric trailer jack on my spring smasher right now, and it seems like it works really good. So I'm going to try one for my tubing bender. It's a little bit more heavy-duty one, so I think it'll be just fine. I'm going to have to fabricate a mount since they don't make a mount for that one. I'm going to have to make a mount myself. And here's the jack we're working with the Ultra Tow 5,000-pound capacity. Let's get it out of the box, see what we got inside. Got the jack, and it's already wired to a trailer plug. I'm gonna have to turn this into something that's useful for me. If I've done my calculations correct, I think I found some pieces, cut off pieces in the scrap bin at work that I can make a clamp to go on this and make a deal that'll swivel around onto the bender. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about in a second. We'll measure that and make sure. So we're gonna take this, mount it. I got a computer power supply that'll turn 110 volts into 12 volts to run this, so it'll work like a battery, but it'll plug into the wall. And I got a 25-foot power cable to go on it. So it should be super mobile, won't have to hook a battery up to it or anything, and it won't have any hydraulics to work with. And I think it's gonna work real good. We're gonna just have to strip this down a little bit and make a new mount for it. Let me just give you guys a rundown of what we're gonna have to make happen with this jack in order to make it move this bender around. This swag mount here swivels and the jack runs through here. To push on this, that moves your die around. You can see your degree wheel moving around. That moves your die around and bends the tubing through here. So we're going to need to make a replacement mount for this that fits our trailer jack. So we're going to need to mount this somewhere, I think about here, and let it push on the tubing out here. It looks like I'm going to have to build my clamp right here. So this will push right there. Yep, that's what we're going to do. Let's take this out of the vise and build a clamp. Forgot my microphone. Let's add that to the mix. I'm going to need to find the halfway point here and cut it in the middle, or at least really close to the middle, so I can make it half-ass decent. Not sure I'm going to do that yet, but I'll figure it out. Okay, so our total OD is 2.757 inches. We're going to divide that by 2. Basically 1 3/8. There's not really a seam on this tubing. That would be an easy way to start, but there's not really a seam. Okay, here's what we're going to do. So I've got a straight line marked across it right here. Probably just going to end up guessing the other side, but I'm going to try to figure out the actual way to get it halfway across the other side. Okay, so we're going to stand it up straight and use the square standing on end. Just like that. I think this will be it. Yep. So we got it marked, cut it in half right there and right there. We just gotta do the other side and cut it down along it. Before I cut it in half, I think I need to put my tubes on here for the bolts to slide through and clamp so I can cut it all at one time. So I'm gonna do that. I think I can use this little piece of mangled up bumper brace. That's why I saved this ship. I'm gonna cut it here and here. I think it's an okay inside diameter that it'll work for a 1/2 inch bolt. Yeah, that'll be just fine. We got 4 of these little pieces of tube. Gonna grind the paint off and weld those to the sides of the big tube. Don't have a bench grinder? No problem. Here's what we got. This. We're gonna weld these on right there, and we're just gonna cut this whole thing down the middle. So we'll end up with a little bit of a gap to clamp with, and little clampies to put a bolt in. Pro tip for you guys that have a weenie little welder like me: if you're welding metal that's too thick for the welder, if you heat up the thick part, it'll weld like it's not as thick, and you'll be able to get good penetration even if it's thicker than the recommended thickness. So I'm going to use my torch and do that. Okay, got a couple clampies on there. Let's flip it over to the other side. All right, we got clampies on both sides. Hopefully it didn't rub all my marks off when I heated that up. And we're gonna try to cut it in half. I have to have a little bit of a stool, I'm too short. One side's cut in half, doesn't look too bad. Do the other side. All right. That's cut in half pretty bad.
Dewey, I'm cutting in half pretty bad.
Let's clean this up a little bit with a grinder, and I think we'll be well on our way to having a nice clamp. How do you like that? I think that'll work. We'll find out shortly. Oh yeah, look at that. It's like it's made for it. Maybe that is because it was made for it. Got these nifty soft jaws so I don't mess up my paint job on my brand new little jack. We need this mount to be vertical like this so we can have a bracket off of here. I think it probably needs to be most of the way up against this, but we'll figure that out. We're gonna have to make a little piece out of plate metal to hang off of here and put a bolt through. It's always nice to have a nice piece of little plate laying around. Let's sketch this out on here. It's like money shape right there. I'll show you guys in a second. Yeah, these are going to be the brackets. There's one, there's a second one. There'll be a hole right here and right here. We'll lay those out later and drill them both through at the same time. Just going to cut this out with a cutoff wheel. You guys see that? My shirt was on fire. I now have a hole in my shirt. Be safe in the shop. Kyle, if you're watching this, I need a new shirt. The saving grace when you're making these hand-done cutoff wheel brackets is you can always clean it up. So you get them roughed in real close like we had it. Line up the side that it's closest. We're going to use the bottom in this case. Okay, so now we're just going to clamp it up right there and leave that and touch up the rest from there. So we're going to make all of the edges match with a grinder. You got to be a little bit careful to make sure you're not making your edge go off to one side like that. Just keep it pretty flat and you'll end up with two identical brackets. This is the side I'm going to weld onto the clamp also, so I'm going to give the edges a good bevel on it. We have two brackets that are exactly the same as each other. Let's poke a hole in them up here for our bolt. You got this handy dandy spring punch tool. It's like those ones that you shove in there automatic, but this one's way better, honestly. There. There, so we'll have a bolt hole right there. Oop, accidentally doubled it. They get drilled off there. There we go, got a big center punch right there. The handy dandy step drill. Every race car fabricator's best friend. Chamfer these. Alright, now. Two brackets, two holes. See if we can get these attached onto here. Yep, I like that. 1" 850. That'll work. It looks pretty perpendicular to me. Let's weld her up. What we got here is welded up on this side, welded up over here. I think I may give it just a little bit of weld in here to help out, but this should be pretty damn solid. I just wanted to send a picture of what she got done. She wrapped all these presents under the tree. Looks like Bobby is modeling for him. Check that out. All right, got this stuck together. What we're going to end up having to do, this is going to run into this and push it around the bend. The one I saw, they modified this, but I want it to be able to be adjustable length to where I can get my full stroke out of my jack. So I'm going to use the foot that came with the jack to make an attachment to go on here. Alright, we got a big hole in it. We'll just slide in there and hit that now, and we'll just bolt this solid into the bender. There we go. Just like that. It's a little tight. I don't know why it's so tight. We'll work on that mine to shorten it. But I think that'll run it. Should work faster when it's connected to the power supply, because I'm sure this battery is not fully charged. Thanks for watching another one of my YouTube videos. Don't forget to leave a comment below, like, and subscribe to the channel. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if I don't see you again.